right, for this cooking lab, we are going to make creamy chicken Alfredo. It's a very creamy recipe, very rich recipe, but we're going to be making it from scratch. And I put Copycat Olive Garden because that's where I actually use the recipe from. Okay, here are the ingredients. We have 1/4 of a cup of butter. And remember, on the stick of butter, it tells you the measurements on there. So that's what you're going to do for that one. You're going to need a cup of heavy whipping cream. And it kind of looks like it comes in like the milk cartons that you get from school. That's kind of what it looks like. You're going to get 2 ounces of cream cheese. We're going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon of minced garlic. And then we're going to use 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then we're going to use 1/2 teaspoon of, oh, I didn't put teaspoon on that one, Italian seasoning, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. And this is where you're going to get really a lot of flavoring right here in these spices right here. And then 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, and that's going to also add some spices. You're going to have 2 to 3 pieces of chicken and 2 tablespoons of oil. And then you're going to use 1/2 box of fettuccine pasta plus 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, first thing you're going to do, and everybody's going to have to work in this lab. Like somebody's going to get the noodles started, someone's going to get the chicken cut up and started, someone's back at the supply table. It's just going to be a busy, busy lab to get all of it done. But it's actually a very easy lab. It's just we need all hands on deck, I guess you could say. Okay, so noodle instructions. It says here, quickly fill a large stock pot half full with water. And there's a stock pot right there. So it's got the 2 handles on it if you remember. Turn the burner on high and boil the water. After the water starts to boil, add salt and noodles to the pot. Boil and stir occasionally until noodles are cooked. Drain noodles in a colander. And that's kind of what these pictures are right here. So they should be, the noodles should be chewy. I wouldn't do al dente. I would just make sure that it's all the way cooked through. Okay, then we have chicken instructions here. You're going to I buy the chicken tenders because they're very easy to cut. Usually if you make one cut straight down the long lengthwise, and then you do chop here, 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 and then, what you're trying to do is picture number 2. There's my dog, if you can hear my dog. You're going to make sure they're all the same size so that they cook properly. So it says here, cut the chicken tenders into even 1/2-inch cubes onto the cutting board. Preheat the frying pan and add oil only right before you are ready to put the chicken in. And this is where I had the problem one year of one of the students. They had put the oil in the pan. They turned the pan on. The burner was up pretty high. And then they turned and they started chopping onions for a different recipe that we were working on. And it went up in smoke and it was crazy. So only right before you're ready to put the chicken in. So when the frying pan is warmed up, or the skillet, I call it a skillet also, then add the chicken and brown it. So it should look like picture number 3. When the chicken is brown, set it aside until the noodles are cooked. And you're going to use the same skillet for the sauce. It's important that that brown stuff on the bottom, it's going to add more flavoring to your sauce. Okay, so, and I guess I actually said to use a different saucepan, but I do want you to use the same one. So in a medium saucepan, so just use the skillet that you were using for your chicken. You're going to add the butter, the heavy whipping cream, and cream cheese goes in there also. You're going to cover over medium heat or cook over medium heat and whisk until melted. So you're going to whisk, whisk, whisk. Like, don't stop whisking. Just keep whisking until everything goes together. Add the minced garlic, the garlic powder, the Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. Continue to whisk until smooth. Add the grated Parmesan cheese. Bring to a simmer. So simmer means there's like little bubbles popping up here and there. And you're going to continue to cook for about 3 to 5 minutes or until it starts to thicken. Toss in your pasta after that, and then your chicken's going to go in there as well. I would actually put the chicken back in first before I put the pasta in. Okay, you need to move quickly in order to get everything finished for this lab. You will have 3 burners going at the same time, which I'm going to change that to 2. Watch the heat. Remember, you can turn the heat up and down as you go. So, you want kind of a medium heat, but you may have to turn it up, you may have to turn it down. And at that point, you'll see me walking around and probably adjusting and talking to you about how it looks. So, hopefully you enjoy this. One of my favorite recipes. Like I said, it's like a copycat recipe, but I think you'll really like the rich, creamy chicken Alfredo that you make today.